Not a tear came down, miss.
Hello, Sarah Jane Comrie. Absolutely disgusting and revolting move you tried there. Shout out to those guys there who showed absolute restraint. This tactic is used on men of color quite often, and what's really scary about it is a lot of times these lies work and put the lives of men like the men you saw in that video in very real danger. While Sarah may have deleted her social media accounts, her husband did not. Hello, Sarah.
All right, guys, so we got to talk about the Citi Bike Karen situation once again. And yes, I know this comes after I told you guys yesterday that hopefully that was my last video, okay? That I was not making another video about this, but you guys in the comment section told me that, hey, actually, we do want you to keep talking about this because we want you to follow it to the end because, you know, the so-called Citi Bike Karen, aka Sarah Jane Conner's lawyer, claims that he is looking to sue mainstream liberal media outlets like, for example, Rashard Ritchie's outlet, TYT, for defamation against his client who they went out of the way to dox, harass, send death threats to, and to ruin her life to the point where even her job had to place her on leave because some young black scholars accused her of trying to steal their Citi Bike. Again, a story that should not have ever become a national news story, but it does because we live in times where race hustling is probably the most lucrative hustle in America right now, right? I mean, that's just what it is, okay? So people are going to turn this story into something that it should not have been, right? So with that being said, I'm doing exactly what you guys asked me to do, and I'm going to continue to follow this story, specifically the people who may or may not be sued for defamation, okay? And we got to talk about this TikToker by the name of that Dinesh guy, okay, who takes credit for being the original doxer of Sarah Jane Comrie. Now, this guy supports the young black scholars. He believes their story, okay? He's one of these guys that's probably in denial, okay, about the fact that Sarah Jane Comrie proved her innocence, okay? He's believing the sister story, right? Which, again, is ridiculous. But anyways, this guy's getting sued for doxing. However, despite being sued for doxing, he is currently not only still doubling down on believing the young black scholar's story, but also continuing to brag about being the original doxer of Miss Sarah Jane Comrie. Take a look.
Okay, I'm going to break this down one time, and I'm going to prove that it was never about the bike, and then I'm done talking about this until she faces consequences, or if I'm trying to raise more money for the victims. Let's watch it again. And keep in mind, I am the person who identified Citi Bike Karen. I did that. Me. The video went viral because of me. Before I posted her identity, no one else had heard about this. It was in all the news and everything referencing me who identified her. Some of you are easily influenced by a PR campaign because your brains are this small. There's two things we're going to prove here. One, that the boys are innocent, and that Citi Bike Karen is the aggressor. And two, we're going to learn that it was never about the bike.
No, record it.
First of all, look at their body language. His hand is calmly on the bike that belongs to him that he's going to use. Remember, as soon as he scans the bike, the timer starts. He's there at the bike with his friends to use it. He wants to talk before he leaves because once he scans it, time starts. It does not mean it's not in his possession. When you grab the food from the grocery store and put it in your shopping cart, people can't run up and take it even though you haven't paid for it yet. It's still in your possession. People can't take things from your hands. You have to understand that. There's no reason for her to scream help. He is not endangering her in any way. He's not touching her.
Please help me.
This is not your bike.
Please help me.
This is not your bike. This is not your bike.
Please help me. Help. Please get off me.
Wait, what the fuck is going on, bro?
Please get off.
Yo, don't take it, bro.
Now you're not getting the bike, bro.
Hey, now you're not getting the bike, bro.
Help.
Okay, she's nudging him. She's pushing him. She stole his
Why you
phone.
took his phone? What's wrong with you?
Pushing him. So she's assaulting him several times and stole his phone.
I'm not touching you. You put your stomach on my head.
Now, why would she be screaming help when she doesn't need it? To scare them away. That's what she's doing. She's trying to yell help so they'll leave. We've seen so many Karens do this.
Yeah. Somebody help me. Help her. Somebody help me. Help her.
Look, Barnell lives at 9861. I'm calling 911.
Okay, call 911 because I
You refuse me to breathe.
Central Park Karen, all these other Karens in history that have done this. This is the one thing we're always angry about. That's why the word Karen exists, because of these people. But anyway, Go on.
She's just crying.
You're not crying. You're not crying. I got
Stupid.
I got your
My
video.
bike. I'm drunk.
Wait, you pulled it out? Hey, Hassan, you pulled it out? Hassan,
I don't give a fuck.
Hassan, you pulled it out?
This is my bike. It's on my account. Please move.
All right, so why don't we reset the bike?
I'm not resetting the bike.
It's his.
So you see, the savior came because her plan worked. She yelled help, and somebody came to help.
This is my
Stop
bike.
fake crying. It's fake crying. Stop fake crying.
Hey, stop touching me. I don't touch you.
But then after he sees the receipt, he tells her, get the fuck off the bike. It's not your bike. Even Reset Ken figured it out. She's crying for no reason. Oh, look, she turned it off. She turned off the crying. Screaming help when you don't need help is very dangerous. It's like screaming bomb on an airplane or fire in a movie theater. Absolutely unnecessary, and somebody could have seriously got hurt. Absolutely irresponsible on her part. I'm furious about that.
Yeah, so he goes on to basically show that he doxed her, okay? He doxed her, and that he was upset with her behavior, okay? But he never technically accused her of stealing the bike, okay? But regardless, her behavior is justified because the bike belonged to her, right? And if you had told the whole story to your audience, instead of basically just skipping over the most important parts, which are the receipts, they would know that, right? And that behavior, when it is appropriate, which it was in that situation because it was her bike, technically it's her bike, and the boy's trying to take it from her. If he's trying to take it from her, she has the right to scream for help. But apparently, again, if you are a white woman, you can't scream for help, okay? Even if, you know, an alleged crime is being committed against you, okay? You cannot scream for help, okay? If, you know, somebody is robbing you, if somebody is trying to take your life, you have to allow self-deletion before you scream for help if you are a white woman, okay? Again, these people had come up with this grand conspiracy about the lawyer for this woman claiming that they went on a PR campaign, and that is why people have now changed their mind about this situation. This is why most people generally agree that, okay, the so-called Citi Bike Karen was in the right. So, again, the people who are in denial, right, they're saying that, well, no, it's because it was a PR campaign, right? But, again, it's just neither here nor there for me at this point. This guy is being sued, right? He's being sued not because he doxed Sarah Jane Connery, but because his whole platform apparently is built off of doxing, okay? Finding people, random people who misbehave in public, who he deems as misbehaving in public, that is, okay? Based off a video that he sees, and then he basically tries to reveal their identity and sends a mob to harass them. It's a pretty disgusting business model, and he's doing this on TikTok, allegedly, and he's been sued for it. So, without further ado, let's read about this. Dinesh Servan, a TikToker with a large following who is more commonly known by his username, That Dinesh Guy, has been sued after he allegedly utilized the platform to harass and dox numerous people. He notably appeared to dox the pregnant Manhattan hospital worker who was smeared as, quote, a Karen by users on social media after an incident where a group of 5 young men prevented her from utilizing a Citi bike to ride home, claiming it was theirs to take. A lawsuit by plaintiffs Jennifer Coulter and Ralph Garmon on May 22nd alleges that Shervin uses his TikTok account with 1.6 million followers as a fee for service online and telephonic cyber stalking service to enrich himself with illicit profits, to humiliate his victims, and to mete out consequences that he deems appropriate. Yeah, again, an absolutely disgusting business model that I can't believe is allowed on TikTok, right? If this is what he's doing, allegedly this is what he's doing. They accuse Shervin of being a prolific cyberstalker who often initially posts a chosen target's personal information to the public, including their name, employer, and contact information, with the intention of getting others to go after them. The lawsuit notes that he promotes his cyberstalking service on his TikTok profile with a header reading, quote, "Need someone identified," beside a link one can follow to pay him. Yeah, so this guy's getting paid, allegedly, to dox people, right? To dox people who he deems to be bad and needs to be harassed, okay? They need to have their lives ruined. Again, this is disgusting, man. I can't believe that there are people that make a living doing stuff like this. This is crazy. Shervan has doled out numerous labels to his targets in attempts to send his followers after them, including anti-vaxxer, anti-masker, and white supremacists. Yeah, so I think it's safe to say if you are being called any of these labels in 2023, that's a pretty good thing, right? That's a sign that you're probably doing things right. The suit alleges that just after Noshirvan posted a video targeting her around January 27th, 2020, Couture, quote, immediately received hundreds of abusive and threatening text messages, no fewer than 728, in addition to numerous vicious phone calls to her personal and professional phone numbers alike. The lawsuit also says that Couture was the target of phony allegations of child abuse, resulting in an investigation in which the Florida Department of Children and Families made an unannounced visit to her home. Noshirvan was discovered to be the person who filed the anonymous allegations that triggered the visit. Wow. Again, this guy is a psychopath. Okay. I mean, this guy is filing anonymous allegations that is getting, I guess, law enforcement or maybe, social services or whatever sent to her house. Again, this is crazy. This is psychotic behavior here. Couture's mother is said to have received unwelcome visits to her home on 3 separate occasions, with all of the strangers looking for Jennifer. After posting the video targeting Couture, Noshirvan's follower account rose from around 702,000 to more than 1 million. After she began receiving the abusive messages, Couture began deleting social media accounts and comments. Quote, Dinesh immediately discovered her deletions and became enraged, the lawsuit states. The lawsuit says Noshirvan messaged Couture directly, stating the, quote, fun hasn't even started yet. Wow, again, this is psychotic. It really is, if true, allegedly. Noshirvan sent a message under the fictitious identity Erica Sabonis, posting as a Facebook user supportive of Couture. Quote, the message was a fishing expedition to capture Couture's reaction, which he used in a new video wherein he admitted he was Erica Sabonis and mocked Couture for falling for his ruse. Noshirvan posted subsequent videos targeting Couture on January 28th, 2022, January 30th, 2022, January 31st, 2022, February 1st, 2022, May 8th, 2022, and May 13th, 2022, each filled with more personal information regarding Couture. So again, I wonder, what is this guy's end goal, right? Like, what is the end goal of constantly stalking and harassing people that you don't like? Again, this guy doesn't seem to have much of a conscience, and his intent might, again, I would argue it could be deadly, okay? With this much harassment, at some point you would be like, okay, I'm leaving this alone, I'm done with it. At the same time, Noshirvan, quote, purchased other forms of media to promote and expand the reach of his videos and cyberstalking campaign against Couture, the lawsuit said, adding that around February 22nd, 2022, he purchased native content sponsor advertisements, which are designed to look like real news articles, and continued publishing Couture's personal information. Noshirvan also discovered that there were familiar ties between Couture and the company she worked at, Garamond, which resulted in hundreds of rage-filled calls, text messages, emails, and fictitious negative reviews posted on professional website review sites. Garamond then became the target of Noshirvan. Quote, the attack was akin to brute force computer hacking attack and paralyzed Garamond's surgical practice, thus lawsuit states. Dinesh's cyberstalking campaign against Garamond severely damaged their reputation and caused significant financial harm. Garamond was forced to prematurely terminate contracts with surgeons who became fearful of reputational harm by being swept into Dinesh's net, and many patients terminated scheduled procedures and ended their relationship, the lawsuit states. The lawsuit seeks damages in excess of $750,000 for Couture and Garamond, each for civil conspiracy. The lawsuit also seeks damages in excess of $75,000 for Garamond for interference with prospective economic advantage. Per the lawsuit, Noshirvan is one of the few select TikTok creators to have been invited to participate in its relatively new subscription service, which launched on May 2022. The lawsuit notes that Noshirvan's subscription fee is $5.99 per month, and that TikTok takes a 35% cut of these monthly subscription fees. Quote, Dinesh is a high volume in-app revenue producer who has exploited TikTok's in-app revenue to earn hundreds of thousands of dollars, documenting his cyber stalking campaigns and inciting Dane Landers to join his cyber stalking campaigns, the lawsuit states. The lawsuit also notes that TikTok can record users' locations, IP address, search history, message content, interaction with advertisers, biometric data, and more. Yeah, so it sounds to me like, I don't know, maybe they should try to go after TikTok too. Again, I'm not sure if that's possible, but again, this is insanity, right? It is crazy that you have people who live their lives to try to ruin other people's lives by cyber stalking them and sending mobs to harass them. It's absolutely, I mean, it's just one of those things that it shouldn't be acceptable. This is not something that should be allowed on these platforms. It's crazy how these people go out of their way to try to ruin other people's lives, okay? But again, you know, this is all alleged. However, I mean, you saw what he did to Sarah Jane Comrie, and he brags about it. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if these allegations are true. So, we'll see what happens with this. But let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.